The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here at highschoolgameday.com, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Brought to you by Liuna Local 663 and coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio and presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks. We go north to Jeff City, and Jeff City Elias Catholic head basketball coach Joe Rothweiler. And, Coach, thanks for being part of the show today.
Thanks for having me on.
Coach, 18-4 a year ago. You won 9 of your last 10 to put you in the state championship game. Tell us a little bit about the players that you have to replace off of last year's team going into the 2022-23 season.
You know, we have a lot to replace. You know, we had a really strong finish to the season last year, and a lot of it was credit to team chemistry. But, you know, all year long we had 2 players that really were outstanding for us, and both of them have moved on. You know, one due to graduation with Malcolm Davis, who's moved on to McKendree University, and he's already off to a good start there, and I think he'll have an outstanding college career there. You know, he played for us, started for us as sophomore through senior year, and scored over 1,000 points, and was one of the top high school players around the state for it. And then Desmond White moved on to a prep school opportunity down in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Skills Factory, and you know, we didn't expect that to happen, but it did. It was a good opportunity for him. Everybody around here knows he had one of the best high school seasons that we've seen in mid-Missouri, averaging 26 a game, and just had some outstanding games throughout the course of his career.
Coach, you're coming here to the Arvest Classic. What about the Arvest Classic keeps you guys coming back? I know the talent pool is tremendous.
Yeah, I mean, the competition is always top notch, and you know, we love the tournament. They really take care of you down there. Arvest does a great job of supporting the kids, and they feed them. You know, they have a brunch for them. They put them up in hotels, and it gives us a chance to really get together as a team and develop some team chemistry. And it's so good to be able to do that early in the season at such a high-profile tournament.
Coach, coming out, you had your jamboree a few weeks ago. What coming out of, or a couple days ago, but coming out of that, what did you like about that experience, and what do you think you guys are doing really well right now early?
Well, you know, actually we had to cancel our jamboree because of construction at the school. And so we didn't get a chance to host the jamboree this year. And then our football team made a deep run as usual. And we have more football players this year than we've had in the past. So the jamboree didn't really work out for us. We had to cancel it last minute. And so we'll be going into the game tomorrow, you know, without that scrimmage, which is unfortunate. But I really like the way their guys have been competing in practice, and having a really solid JV team to push us every day is going to help us get ready.
Again, visiting with Joe Rothweiler, the head basketball coach at Jeff City Elias. And, Coach, tell us about some of the kids that we're going to get to see at Parkview High School in the Arvest Classic.
We returned, you know, while we lost a lot of our scoring, we returned 3 starters. And, you know, they served a really good role for us last year. We only went about 7 deep, and so our starters played a majority of the minutes throughout the course of the season. You know, those guys, they got off to a little bit slow start just due to lack of experience, but they were a big reason that we made the run we did down the stretch. And they gained experience, gained confidence, and by the end of the season, they were really contributing to our success. And so we're excited to have them back. And, you know, those 3 guys are Henry Nineswander, will be a returning starter. Jacob Rumbecky will be a returning starter, and then Trey Bexton will be our 3rd returning starter. And so they're going to bring a lot of leadership, a lot of experience, and they're going to get to display some more of the skill set that they possess with the absence of Malcolm Davis and Desmond White.
Has there been a style change, you know, with your team with regards to what you lost and what you've got coming back?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a little bit of change. You know, possessions might get a little bit longer. You know, we don't have quite the scoring threat that we've had, but we built some really good chemistry over the summer, and they showed the ability to share the ball extremely well. One of the best passing teams that we've had here at Elias, and they move it around. And they're patient. They have the ability to shoot the basketball, which is always a good thing for a coach. And as long as we're continuing to move it and share it and take good shots, I think we won't lose too much efficiency on the offensive end.
Coach, what do you know about your first round opponent? In the Arvest tournament at Parkview.
They're a familiar opponent. It seems like most years when we're down there, we match up with them at some point in the tournament. I know they lost quite a bit from a really good team last year. I think they have one starter coming back that we're familiar with, and then they'll have some new guys coming in and a brand new coach. So he's familiar to a certain extent because we played him in the Final Four last year. And Coach Simpson, and he does an outstanding job. And I know Parkview will be ready to roll.
What's the travel itinerary?
We're going to get out about 1 tomorrow, get on the road and get down there and get settled in a little bit and be ready to hit the floor. Get down there and watch the game before us at 4:00 and scout the team that we would possibly play tomorrow. And so that's the plan, and get out of school a little bit early and get down there and get ready to play some basketball.
You bet. Well, Coach, I know you've got practice getting ready to start, and I promised you I'd have you off here by 6 o'clock. It's 5:58, but I really appreciate you being generous with your time, and safe travels coming down to tomorrow morning, and we're excited to see you guys.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. You're watching and listening to the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com here on High School Game Day. High School Game Day on the Missouri Sports Network. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here for the holidays.
Banking should make your life greater. It starts with affordable options to meet today's needs and tomorrow's dreams. From smart account options that fit your style to flexible loans for what comes next. It means convenient ways to access and manage your money whenever you need it and wherever you're headed. Most of all, it takes great support. Someone you can count on for trusted guidance and to be there for you every step of the way. Great options, great convenience, great support for life. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters.
Enjoy a fresh start to your meal at Pizza Ranch, where the salad bar is always included with your buffet. Every day you'll find garden fresh greens, colorful veggies, and sides for every appetite. It's the most refreshing way to balance out a meal while leaving plenty of room for your other buffet favorites. Convenient, fast, and fresh. It's the Pizza Ranch Salad Bar. Mmm.
I couldn't ask for a better agent, for a better company in a time like this, in a disaster where you have no idea where to start.
I learned that there's not a given in life. It takes a team. There's people that are going to watch out for us and that care.
It's been pretty stressful. Once we saw Lori and got our plan, it's a lot better now.
It was like a huge weight lifted.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio and brought to you by Liona Laborers Local 663, Building Missouri and Building Missouri State. We go now back up to kind of my stomping grounds, Lafayette High School, and not unfamiliar to these airwaves, Lafayette Wildwood head basketball coach Brian Keim. Coach Keim, a year ago today, we last visited here talking about the Arvest Classic, but thanks for being part of the show.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us. This is an awesome experience. This will be my second time down now because this is year 2 for me at Lafayette. It's something that hopefully we can continue moving forward.
Coach, you go 2-1 last year in the tournament. You finished 16-11 overall. Kind of tell us about last year's team and what you have to replace, due to graduation. Who's going to step in and fill some of those roles?
Yeah, last year's team, it was, a new experience for me because I was in the Class 4. I was kind of small school my whole coaching career. So jumping up into Class 6 in the St. Louis area, I was a little kind of unaware, I guess, of what our schedule was going to look like. Pretty proud of the 16-11 record for year 1. Had a great group of seniors, 3 that we graduated, but we do return 5 of our top 8 that got to play a lot. So we have a lot of experience as far as what is returning. We return our leading scorer, Matt Hefner. He just committed to Truman State. And then I would say we have 7 seniors, a couple of juniors, and we're mixing in some underclassmen, some sophomores we're bringing with us. So we're pretty excited about our squad. We're eager to get going. We've been beating on each other now for the last 3.5 weeks. So this will be game number 1, and we're ready to go.
What about your team this year do you really like? Or what are some things, and I know it's early, but that you feel like going into game 1, you're doing pretty well right now?
Yeah, there's a couple things that stand out to me with this current group. Number 1 is our depth. I do believe that we have a lot of quality depth this year. That's something that's going to play in our favor because we want to play aggressive. We want to play up tempo, pretty common for most high school basketball teams. But I think we're going to have the capability to do that because we like what we can bring off the bench. We don't have to start the same 5 guys. We can play matchups if we need to. We've got both size, speed, quickness, strength. Like we've got a little bit of everything. So that's a big thing. And then to go along with that is our aggressiveness, the way that we compete in practice. That's been something that's really stood out. And so that's, and that's beautiful because that travels. You don't have to be the most skilled team, but if you're aggressive and you can get after it and play hard, you should be in most games that you play in.
Tell us just a little bit about the Arvest Classic. I know you were here last year. It's a tremendous tournament. That Parkview High School puts on. Landon Cornish started it. He is now an administrator and moved on. Jack Simpson, who had a tremendous playing career at Kickapoo, coaching last year at Springfield Catholic, moves over now. He's taken that over. But what about the Arvest Classic is something you really enjoy?
They are so accommodating as far as, like when we're going to be down there, when we play, the things that they give us, they're very detail oriented, which is awesome. So we've got an itinerary for as soon as we get down there all the way until the last game, where we eat, what we're eating, where we're supposed to be. So they take a lot of that stuff out of my hands, which is awesome. We just have to get down there, and once we get down there, we're so well taken care of. It's unbelievable. The hospitality is phenomenal. But I would say the best part, and that's great, but the best part is the competition that's in the tournament. It's all teams that we won't see other than DeSmet because they're a St. Louis school. They're in a couple different tournaments that we're in, but other than DeSmet, there are teams that we won't see, we don't schedule. And like we were just looking at the coaches preseason poll, I think there's 4 teams in our tournament who are ranked preseason in the top 10. So not just like teams that we don't see, but super competitive, high level basketball teams.
Tell us a little bit about what you know about your first round opponent.
Raytown. So Raytown, I think they lost all their starters, but we've got to see them in their jamboree. They're going to be physical. They're going to be athletic. They've got a couple of really nice guards who can score it. So they're a great first opponent because, like we want to be able to get up, be aggressive, and play fast, and so do they. So it should be a fun first game.
Now tell us a little bit about when you're leaving and when you're heading down here to Southwest Missouri.
Yeah, so we're going to leave. We play the 4:00 game, so we got the early game. So we're going to leave St. Louis. We're going to leave school at like 9 a.m. We'll drive a couple hours, stop, eat lunch. We're trying to get in the gym at Missouri State. We've got some connections there. We're going to try to get on one of their courts and get some shots up once we get down into Springfield. We'll go check in and then head to Parkview and get after it.
You bet. Well, Coach, again, I know this was extremely short notice this time here to get this set up, but I I appreciate you being part of the show. Safe travels, and again, thanks for being generous with your time today. And we'll probably see you over there.
Yeah, and thanks for the coverage, man. It's really appreciated.
You bet. You bet. Lafayette head coach Brian Keim with us here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here for the holidays.
The qualities in a truck that are most important are reliability, just really great function.
Having a truck is pretty much a necessity to getting to most of these locations. Oftentimes it's narrow, steep, loose, rough, rocky roads.
Having a truck is essential to every part of what we do, from picking up material for the home to delivering the home.
Always carrying something, pulling something.
It's something that we use every single day here.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio, and as always, brought to you by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Liuna, local labor 663, building Missouri and building Missouri State. Missouri State Highway Patrol, Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, Great Southern Bank, Doak Propane, and the Bank of Billings. We're pleased to be joined now by Lee Summit West head boys basketball coach Michael Schieber. And Coach Schieber, it seems like a year ago we got to visit.
Yeah, time flies, I guess. It was a great time last year having a conversation with you, kind of that anticipation as the season starts to approach. And, you feel that way every year. I guess you have a little concern, a little optimism, a little bit of everything. And so we're looking forward to coming down and playing and hopefully having a little better result than we had last year.
Yeah, it's kind of tough last year, but you finished the year tremendously strong. You went 6 in a row there going into districts. You win a district championship. You kind of avenged that loss early in the year to a Raytown team here in the Arvest Classic. Tell us a little bit about the kids you got coming back and what you're going to have to replace from last year.
Yeah, we lose, anytime you lose your seniors, you lose your leadership. Chance McGrew was probably the guy that stood out. And replacing a point guard is not easy. But we've got 3 juniors and a senior returning from last year. And, hopefully those guys that have kind of been through those battles and things like that, we're fairly young, had a little growing up to do. And I guess we'll see whether we've grown up or not.
Tell us just a little bit, the Arvest Classic coming up here at Parkview High School and just a tremendous tournament, teams from around the state. What are some things that you enjoy about it? Maybe it's the travel, maybe it's getting on the road. I know you go back-to-back road tournaments to open the season, but what about the Arvest tournament makes it special?
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you go on these things, it's always the people that you run into, and there's just a lot of great basketball, a lot of great basketball players, a lot of great basketball coaches, and a lot of great basketball fans. And Springfield. I come from a little bitty town up in Northwest Missouri, and, Springfield has always been a hotbed of high school basketball in the state of Missouri and remains so today. And, we're fortunate that we're given an opportunity by our school and by our administration to be able to travel down to this tournament and with these teams and with these coaches and with great media sponsors like yourself. And we say we're going to try to say thank you a lot, because this is a great moment for our kids. And as I said, we're looking forward to the challenge.
Coach, what are some things right now? I know it's early, you haven't played a game yet, but what are some things you feel like you're doing really well at this point of the season?
I don't know. You're talking to the wrong guy for doing too much really well this early. I don't I don't think optimism and me go hand in hand. There's a lot of things that we have to work on, and obviously this is kind of the way we're approaching this week. Is we've been kind of preparing here for however many weeks, 4 weeks. And I'm sure the kids thought they were ready after 2 weeks, maybe even after a week to go play a game. And I probably don't think they're ready until, hell, I don't know if we'll ever get ready. But it comes to a point where you got to go play. And we're at that point. And I guess, I'm hopeful that our defensive communication is a lot better than it was. It's something that we've harped on. I'm hopeful that our offensive execution is improving, but you don't really know till you take the test, and we've got 3 tests, regardless of where we end up on what side of the bracket. We found that out last year. Is you're going to face quality teams regardless of where you go, and that's why we're coming. We want to face the best that we can face, and whoever that is and whenever that is, we got to show up, and it's test day. And it's time to see what we know and what we don't.
And again, visiting with Lee Summit West head basketball coach Michael Schieber. And Coach, any changes to your district, your conference there, with the new kind of every year changing districts and things of that nature, and any changes in your schedule?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't pay too much attention to the district because I haven't really even looked at it because, that's so far away that, I haven't had a chance to really, I've been looking at this tournament and, trying to figure out, how we're going to match up against these teams. As far as our conference is concerned, we went from a 17 league to a 5-team league. Now, why they did that, you're talking to the wrong guy. But, anytime you play in a conference against the teams that know you and you know them, it always makes it tough. And this is a great opportunity for our kids to kind of go out and see some different teams and that grind of a conference schedule and all that's coming. But for right now, we're just kind of trying to lock into the moment and come down and play a really good basketball team and DeSmet right out of the gate and see how we fare in the challenge.
What do you know about Coach Williams' group, Kent Williams over at DeSmet? What do you know about DeSmet, and what are you going to have to do?
Historically, obviously high tier, and it's a great program led by great people and a great school. And, I know that they're talented. I know that they're going to be well coached, and I know it's going to be a heck of a challenge for us. And, that's why you go play. Going down there and playing against, whoever it may be, you want to play against teams that are going to push you and see how you respond. And, and I know that they're going to push. I know that they're going to push us. I know that we're going to have to play at a really high level to even contend. And so, we're looking forward to the challenge. And as I said, that's why you go play in these events and travel to these places is to really get, high quality competition. And they certainly have that in this tournament, the Arvest Bank.
Yeah. Coach, what's your travel plans when you guys head this way, and where are you staying?
Yeah, we're heading down there. I believe we're leaving at around 10:30 tomorrow. Coming down, kind of get our legs stretched when we get down there a little bit and head to the hotel, and then head over for that 5:30 game before we play at 7:00. So kind of try to treat it as close to a game day situation as we can, although the travel's a little longer, but hopefully our kids are used to it. And as I said, I think it'll be a great experience for our kids to, be away from the school environment and around each other for a couple days, and hopefully learn about each other, our strengths, our weaknesses, and how to be a good teammate.
Then you go right into the Rogers, Arkansas tournament. the following week.
Yeah,
So
that's
about that.
interesting. Yeah, it's interesting because I met Coach down there last year and had talked to him about possibly coming to that tournament. And so, I mean, this was kind of the fruits of us coming down there and getting a chance to meet some people that we hadn't had a chance to meet. And Coach was gracious enough to give us an invite. And, so we're going to be heading down there next week, and we're looking forward to that as well. And it's kind of a unique experience with these two back-to-back tournaments. But, I mean, as you well know, these tournaments aren't cheap to put on, and these teams and these coaches and these ADs and administrations and Arvest, and they give a lot of money and a lot of resources to be able to put this on. And, we're grateful and thankful for that. And without support like that, it's really hard to do. And I'm sure there's going to be great support down there. And as I say, we'll worry about that when we get to it. But we'll, for this week, we're really just focused on coming to Parkview and trying not to go 0-3 again.
Very good. Well, Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time. I know it's a busy time of year. The thump, the basketballs start bouncing. Had an old wrestling coach said it's thump time.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. And it's a great time of year, anticipation and everybody's. Yeah, I know there's been some teams that played, before Thanksgiving, but for the most part, this has been when everybody's cranked up and I know our kids are antsy to get out there. And so, hopefully we can go out and play at a really high level and try to give Desmet, a ball game. So that's what we're hoping to do.
Well, Coach, hey, thanks for being part of the Missouri Sports Network, and we'll talk to you when you get down here. We'll eat lunch with you at least on Friday, and we'll get to meet you in person. So
that sounds great, Guy. Always appreciate everything you do for high school sports, and appreciate all your sponsors and everybody, and appreciate the invite and having us down and spending this time with us. So thank you.
You bet. You've been watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here for the holidays.
The qualities in a truck that are most important are reliability, just really great function.
Having a truck is pretty much a necessity to getting to most of these locations. Oftentimes it's narrow, steep, loose, rough, rocky roads.
Having a truck is essential to every part of what we do, from picking up material for the home to delivering the home.
Always carrying something, pulling something.
It's something that we use every single day here.
Imagine a bank that goes where you go, creating seamless solutions for every step in your financial journey, allowing you to manage your money the way you want to, with a banking relationship that makes every day extraordinary. Imagine a world full of possibilities, always within reach. Central Bank. We do banking better.
Only Pizza Ranch serves buffet your way.
Don't you mean my way, Mr. Voiceover Guy?
Sure, anyone's way, actually. Request your favorite pizza. We'll make it, bake it, and give you the first slice.
I can add peppers to pepperoni, Stampede on stuffed crust, maybe Texan taco on thin. No tomatoes on my half. How can I convince Mom to let us eat here every night?
It's buffet your way at Pizza Ranch. Say it with me, kid.
Not only is Country Financial our insurance, but they treated us like family.
Relationships are the single most important piece of the puzzle. We always ask this question: what is the right thing to do?
Hey, welcome to Central Bank of the Ozarks High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. As always, coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio and presented by Liona, Labor's Local 663, Building Missouri and Building Missouri State University. Also presented by Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states that care as much about your money as you do. And Doak Propane here in Bolivar, Missouri for all your propane needs. See the folks at Doak. And we go now north to Schuyler Rams head basketball coach, Chris Pruitt. Coach Pruitt, thanks so much for your time today.
Hey, thank you for the coverage.
You guys want to know already on the season. Talk a little bit about your team this year compared to last year. What are you having to replace due to graduation?
Yeah, last year we were still fairly young. I had 2 seniors. One was a starter. The other one was more of a 6-man. That one senior was our second leading scorer. He's a 1,000-point scorer for the program. He's kind of the face of the program for his 4 years here. So it was big shoes to fill. We will miss Trevin, but we return a lot of the other guys. So with him, I got 4 other starters. I got a guy coming off the bench, and then I got a really big freshman class of about 10 with 2 kids that can provide some minutes early. So with that, the core that we had was intact, which helped me being my second year with these guys, being easier continuity of the offense. They understood what we were kind of doing. And along with those freshmen as well, I had them in junior high before I took over the varsity job. And they were very successful then. And I ran the same kind of sets. So I really like my group. We shoot the ball very well. We're not the tallest guys on the court, but we make it up in our speed. It's just so far it's been fun. We had football go a little bit longer than I like, but I've got the guys in the gym for about 8 days now, and I really like what I see.
Hey, Coach, you guys into a lot of conference changing up there. With you guys are now members of the Lewis and Clark Conference. Just kind of handicap that conference a little bit, compare it. I know several of those teams are probably in that Class 2 District 6 along with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so our district, I think, is it's Knox, Scotland, Putnam County, Canton, and Princeton, and then us. So a couple conference opponents up north. Our new conference, or I guess we've been in it for a couple of years now, but the Lewis and Clark is very talented on the boys' side. Harrisburg, West End, Salisbury, they're competitors every year, state-ranked teams every year in Class 2. So we get really good competition when we see those guys. But we feel pretty confident, at least on the north half of the conference, just being up here, seeing what everybody's got, and seeing what we've returned. We feel good about where we stand, and we think we can be competitive all the way through.
Just one game into the season, but you got a tournament starting on Monday. Kind of handicap that tournament. Where you guys seeded, I guess, in the Tri-Rivers tournament coming up Monday, and where will that be played?
Yeah, so we host it every year at Schuyler. We have really great facilities here, 2 nice gyms, and so that way we don't have to play those 4:30 or those 9 o'clock games that you see on some tournaments. But our Tri-Rivers Classics, a great tournament every year. It just brings all the old Tri-Rivers back together to play. Historically, Schuyler has been very low seeded, maybe not historically, but at least in the past 5 to 8 years. It's been a struggle on the boys' side this year. With everybody that we returned in the season we had last year, we received a 3 seed. So we were excited, and we were proud to get some respect from the other guys, in the old conference and in this tournament. But just because we got that doesn't mean a whole lot. We still got to compete. Our first matchup games against Clark County, who's a bigger school, and they returned 4 of their 5 starters and an all-conference Clarence Canyon conference player. Watched them play last night, and they shoot the ball lights out. They're big and they're fast. So we're going to have our hands full every single game, but it'll be good. It'll be a good early test to kind of see where our guys are at.
And for those of us who are geographically challenged, kind of give us an idea of where you're located, and then kind of the surrounding conference. Are you north of Columbia, or just kind of give it kind of a general idea?
Yeah, so with relations to Columbia, we are about an hour and 45 minutes north. We are 20 minutes outside of Kirksville. So a lot of, at least the north side of our conference sits on that end. You'll see us with Knox and Scotland County and Putnam County. We're right on that Iowa line. I think our county borders Iowa, so we're about as far north as you can get before you cross over. So we see a lot of those schools, Clark County, Milan's. With being up here on the Kirksville area, there are a lot of smaller 1A schools that surround us. They're in the Tri-County Conference, and we do play them quite a bit just because they are right there. So you'll see your Brashears and your Green Cities and Novengers and La Platas, which are all really good schools and just bring really good competition for at least this north side of the state.
Has your schedule changed much from maybe 2-3 years ago when you took over? As far as tournaments, I know you're in the North Shelby tournament, you're in the La Plata Invitational. Are those tournaments that you've been in since you've been there, or do you have a different kind of schedule set up?
We picked up some non-conference games. This year we picked up a strong South Shelby squad, and we picked up Canton. And then I think we picked up Atlanta, who has got a 6'9" kid who's getting looks from all over. So they're going to be really good non-con games for us. As far as tournaments, though, I think it's been kind of set, and it's the way it is for a while. The Tri-Rivers Classic, like I said, we go to North Shelby, and that is time-honored tradition. You go to North Shelby every year. It's a heck of a drive over there, but the atmosphere at North Shelby is unlike anything else. Small, loud. It's a great place to play. And then we do the play to tournament, which is a nice way to end the year. And we have good tournaments, so we like to keep where we're at.
Well, very good. And again, we've been visiting with Skylar Rams head basketball coach Chris Pruitt. And Coach, I know we've had Skylar on several times here at the Missouri Sports Network with him. Most of it's been softball related.
Yes.
But good opportunity to catch up and talk a little basketball and find about the conference and the district and the geography. Because I did not have a clue. I knew it was up there.
It's as close as you can get, like I said. A lot of corn.
You bet. Yeah. Well, Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time here on a Thanksgiving Eve, and safe travels. And I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving and enjoy your time with your family.
Hey, I appreciate it. And again, thank you for the coverage from way up here.
You bet. You bet. You're watching and listening to the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us, take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.